You were tuned in to episode 76. Yes, I said it. Episode 76. Goodfellas Podcast. I am your host, G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru in the building. My main man, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K will be in here shortly. Big shout out to VP Shane. And like I said, this is episode 76 of the Goodfellas Podcast. Uh Started off a little later than I wanted to. Got caught in traffic on the way here. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though. It is all good. We got a really really busy weekend of fights. I mean, if you into boxing, this is your type of weekend. Multiple cards, multiple cards, multiple good fights. We got some fights that's kind of, close to 50-50. Some interesting style matchups. And I couldn't be happier over this weekend's fights. Now, usually I had somebody with me to do the sound check, but I don't have anybody to do the sound check. If you are listening to me right now, put a 1 in the comment section if you can hear me okay.
Oh, hold on, man. Let me get out of here real quick, bro, because I got a.
My big dog got an afternoon party going on right now in the spot. You good? This is what happens when I'm not on time and I can't do a sound check with my guys.
Here we
Let
go,
me
man.
introduce Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K in the building. What is going on with you, partner?
Man, ready to tackle these boxing topics and talk upsets and talk new guy on the block, so to speak, and everybody know who that is, Tagu, but he'll really be introducing himself later this week. But it is what it is, so let's get it. I don't know where you was at, but I didn't mean cut
I
you off.
literally just started. With the intro, so I ain't even getting nowhere yet. But as y'all seen, this is the upset edition of the Goodfellas podcast. And first and foremost, like I was saying before, if you a boxing fan, April 9th is kind of like a heaven in a sense. Multiple cards, none of it's pay-per-view, multiple matchups with the styles, recognizable names, guys getting opportunities. We got guys that are in make or break fights. Either you win, you stay relevant. You lose, you might be in gatekeeper status. You know what I'm saying? So you have that as well. So you got a nice blend, nice variety going on this weekend with the fights. But where you want to start off at?
I mean, this let the host call it, man. I'm coming in late. You know what I mean? Okay. I ain't got no rights to be setting no agendas.
All right. Well, let's. Well, actually, you know what fight I forgot about? Gabe Rosado and Mosley Jr.
Yeah, I put a clip up on IG on that one. Showed a little bit.
Yeah, that's this weekend too. What you think about that fight?
I think that's to me that's a casual fan fight because again you got two guys that are recognizable and it's just a fan friendly fight. It ain't a fight that's gonna put nobody in no position for a title or anything like that. But it's two guys that have good names and definitely need wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? Try to put something back to back, get a little run going again, and maybe then kind of catapult off a fight like this. So to me, it's a fight that's fan friendly to me.
You know what? When they announced the fight, I thought it was actually is weird thinking this, but I actually thought it was a step back for Gabe. I thought it was a step back for Gabe because
you can look at it. Gabe came off the stopping the prospect, so you can look at a fight like that as a step back, but he happened to win it. So are we like that? This is, to me, is this a stay busy fight with a recognizable name.
Well, the thing about the when he fought Beck, he was a big underdog in that fight. I thought Beck was overrated. He's one of them dudes, you see him, these foreign guys, they come in 4 or 5 fights, they trying to fast track them and all of that, and they ended up getting clipped. I guess maybe I just wasn't expecting Mosley Jr. because he's always searching for the big fish. You know what I mean? But I guess it makes sense though. I guess it makes sense now I think about it.
Yeah, because you got two guys that are fringe, almost getting themselves in that gatekeeper position. And if they clash, you kind of see like, okay, they start positioning themselves as gatekeeper, next to gatekeeper, and on up the ladder. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's a fight like that that'll either help or hurt one another.
Yeah, I just think, whoever wins, like you said, whoever wins or loses that fight, I don't think anybody loses any status or anything like that. It's almost like they getting. It's like a can't lose fight outside of them losing. You know what I mean? Like they still go get filled up the same way. They'll probably get the same opportunities win or lose. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a good action fight though. Who you like in the fight though?
I think Shane can outbox him, but my thing is, what's his offense? Is he gonna put out the offense with his movement? Because he moves pretty good. His tank is not bad, but his offense is, to me, not very consistent to go with the movement. Because if you move, you want to be moving to set yourself up, not just moving to get away from danger. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what kind of movement is he going to give us? Is it a that backhand jab, stay away from me sort of jab? Is it going to be that jab that I'm going to throw it here, then I'm going to slide over and hit with this sort of outside combination or whatever sort of thing? Like I'm just concerned about what kind of movement he's going to give us.
Everything about this fight tells me Gabe should win it. Just even though he's coming off the Munguia loss, he didn't perform bad in that fight. I just think Munguia just output was just absolutely insane. I feel like Gabe should win this fight, but I mean Shane. The thing about Shane let them hands go. Shane lets them hands go, and I'm kind of curious to see how Gabe really plays this. Does he turn it into a dog fight, or does he just try to like pull the old school tactics and really just kind of just outschool him?
I see what you're saying where Shane, but you got to look at the level of competition where Shane kind of was the stalker in the bigger guy, so to speak, and more of the house guy and the guy with a name. Like in those positions, yeah, but when he's had to step up, he's used a lot of movement to, per se, not get himself knocked out because he's not a powerful puncher. You see what I'm saying? So I anticipate the Matador being Shane Mosley and the Bull being Rosado. But my concern with Rosado is, what is his stalk game like? Is he going to jab, or is he going to be trying to walk through the front door hands? Well,
I was getting ready to say that I haven't seen Gabe walk down nobody in years. He been on the back foot for the past 5 years, man. I ain't seen him walk down nobody in a long time. But that's the interesting part of the matchup, though, because I think he's actually better off coming forward and trying to walk Shane Mosley down. He's a stronger guy, so I think that'll better suit him. But he hasn't done it in so long. I don't know if he
has the skills. That's what I said.
That's a little
down mentally. I'm wondering because if you look at his last performance against the prospect was coming forward and he ran into something. So I don't know that Mosley's going to do that, because again, when Mosley has done it, he's been that guy. You're going against somebody 3-12 or something like that. Of course, you should be foot on the gas, coming forward behind a jab. So it's a different scenario for him. I don't know if he wants to play that against a guy that definitely, we got to admit, punches harder.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. I get for the people that don't know Vlog and myself, we terms of actually thinking a fight out. A lot of times we be thinking alike. I'm sitting up here thinking about the fight, and I'm like, well, damn, I don't see that happening. I don't see Gabe coming forward because I don't know if he got the skills to do it. And then with Mosley, I can see him throwing less punches than what he usually does because he hasn't really been in there with an old school dude like Gabe. Like, so it's a bunch of question marks with this fight. I think it's gonna end up being action, at the end of the
I
day.
hope
But
so, because again, you remember we got to throw the word awkward out. Gabe is not your traditional sort of guy. He does a lot of hands down, that up and under sort of movement, swinging wild hooks. Then one of them punches probably clip a Mosley if he's too dangerous. Like, I mean, too free with his coming forward sort of motion. So again, it's a tricky fight to see what style we gonna get. That's why I think it's an interesting fight. And it should be, like you said, fan friendly at least, because we know Gabe is a warrior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He type of dude, you hit him with a hammer, if he ain't knocked out, he's still gonna be coming forward. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if we got to worry about headbutts or anything like that. Maybe some low blows, maybe a little bit of rabbit punching, because you can have them dull moments. So when they come forward, they'll try to let loose, and then it's the wrong time for that action.
Yeah, I can definitely see some rabbit punching. I could definitely see some rabbit punching for sure. Let me get in the comment section. My OG Burt Wood in the building. What's going on, Burt? Said, quote, Jack Dempsey, I was knocked down plenty. I wanted to stay down, but I couldn't. I had to collect the $2 for winning or go hungry. I had to get up. That's classic right there. He said Dempsey is ranked 10th on the Rank Magazine list of all-time heavyweights. Hey, Burt.
What that sound like? That was an old school way of saying, tough times, my paper's on the respirator. You understand?
Right.
No food in the refrigerator.
Right, absolutely. Exactly. Old Lady Cardio put a 1 in the comment section. That means Old Lady Cardio can hear us just fine. Appreciate that. That's one of them fights. I'm like, you can book it. It's gonna be a good one. It's just how is it gonna play out is really the question. But if Gabe loses, then I really, that's a bad look. That's a bad look for Gabe.
I mean, again,
That's a bad look.
The edge I'm giving Mosley, I do believe he's the sharper puncher. So speed wise, I don't know. I've never known Mosley to have that blazing speed, but I think
Gabe got faster hands.
Yeah, but Gabe is very inaccurate, and Gabe just trying to hit you anywhere per se a lot of the times. You see what I'm saying? He's just letting them go to hit elbows, to hit hips, hit shoulders if he got to, as long as he's letting his hands go in those brawl situations. So I would give Mosley the accuracy. I'm worried about that body though, because if you can let a guy like Gabe get close, those inside just one arm free body shots, they might add up on a tall, skinny frame like a Mosley. So you know what I mean? There's different ways to break it down though.
Yeah, everything I think Gabe needs to do to win this fight, I haven't seen him do it in years. That's the thing. Like body work, like consistent body work. I haven't seen that in years from him. Walking somebody down, I haven't seen that in years from him. That stab jab to the chest should be pretty effective in this fight, because that should set up some other stuff. Because Mosley should be, I think he's a taller fighter, or even if he's not, he's at least slightly. But that should set up some stuff over the top. But I haven't seen Gabe really do that in a while, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in that fight.
Gabe just fell into that counterpunch role.
Yeah, he been falling into that for years. Burt Wood, quote, Foreman versus Ali, that right hand was the fastest punch I ever been hit with. Said Foreman never been hit so fast. It was like he was a lightweight. I didn't even see it coming. And Burt Wood, those are the punches that hurt the most. Is the ones that you don't see coming. So you can have a dude like Paulie Malignaggi hit you with a shot that you can't see, and it's gonna hurt.
You feel it, yeah.
You're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of when you actually, that's the goal of every single fighter going into a fight. Like if you gave them a choice of, hey, do I hit a guy with a jab and a straight right hand and they can see it coming but it still land, or I hit him with a right hand and he don't see it coming, they gonna take the right hand and he ain't see it coming all day long, because more than likely it's a money shot because he ain't see it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
So
can't tense up. You can't react with a fade or a roll. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
you remember when Ricardo Mayorga used to beat his guys in, have his hands down, have his hands behind his back, telling people to hit him in his face. He did it with some of the heaviest punches in the sport. And anybody that knows boxing, I'm like, if you know the punch is coming and you see it coming, you can kind of maneuver
move with
here, maneuver there, roll with the
slight.
shot,
Yeah,
slight turns, but to the crowd, it's looking like he got a bunch of machismo and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the shot that you can't see is the most dangerous punch in the sport. Bruce Goals in the building. He said, salute my brothers. Big shout out to you, bro, man. We pulled out the the highlights in the last live. I'm gonna have to prep some more up. Maybe I had some Ryan Garcia highlights or some Tegu highlights or whatever, queued up and ready for tomorrow's show. So we can start having some visuals along with this podcast. But big
you're
shout out to
supposed to
Bruce
do that for
Goals.
the day.
Yeah, I know. I ain't get a chance. I ain't get a chance to really get no highlights. But I'm gonna, as soon as we get off this joint, I'm gonna have a nice little package of highlights. So everybody, I'm just gonna have it lined up. So when I go on the screen, click, boom, click, boom. You know what I mean? We'll be all set, ready to go. But the fight that I'm really interested in, Tony Harrison and Garcia, man. This is a make or break fight for Tony Harrison, in my opinion, in terms of relevance. I think this is a make or break fight. What you think?
Who are you fighting again?
Uh he's fighting Garcia.
It's a
Sergio Garcia.
old ass Sergio Garcia.
No. Hold on. Hold
The,
on.
the
I
dude that
gotta
be announcing? Because I'm confused.
no. All right. I'm a hold on. Let me see if I can
I
pull him
still
up.
need
Pull
to
him
break.
up.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
I had a feeling.
Bro,
See,
so many fights.
this is why I needed to have my hold on, let me see if I can go. Let me see if I can go PBC. Hold
Hold
on.
on, hold on. I know people gonna be like, damn, OG. Man, they pulled up a goddamn Spanish golfer.
Yo. No, I'm going on Premier Boxing Champions website. I'm trying to see if I can get the
I'm just going to the schedule. Man, my bad. I
no,
was
you
that
good, you
wasn't
good.
on my radar fights, bro. Because you know what I mean. I'm thinking about Lubin. Oh yeah, they say Garcia, but they don't put no first name, man. Why they do that?
Actually, PBC's website it's
Terrible.
okay, but
It's
it
terrible.
ain't for what I want. Um Hold on.
Frondora.
Because I'm trying to get a picture. I'm trying to get a picture.
Yeah,
So
Sergio Garcia.
yeah,
Is that the dude that Frondora just fought?
yes, yes,
So they fighting at 154?
yeah.
Because it don't say. It say former welterweight champ Tony Harrison, highly guarded contender Sergio Garcia in 10-round co-main event. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let me look up fight details. We about to find out what kind of fight this gonna be. One
Search
record,
because
blah blah blah.
that's the same guy that was giving Fundora
154.
all them problems. We was talking
Yeah,
about him.
154.
Yeah, 154.
Your
Yeah.
boy, I don't think he got the power for 154. He is going to
Who?
get washed.
Who? Garcia?
Tony Harrison do not have the
No,
power.
he been fighting at 154.
What his last fight was at 147. No, his last fight was a 147 going up.
It's
Peralta was at
154.
150.
No, Peralta fought at
Oh yeah,
147, but
that's
he
right.
moved
That's
up
right.
to
No,
154. He
hold
moved
up.
up to 154.
My bad. My bad.
You
You
good?
right.
You
You
good?
right.
Yeah, he fought.
I'm,
Yeah, he been
I'm
fighting at
completely
154.
thinking of somebody else. Not Tony Harrison. Damn.
Bro, that's the same dude that was giving
Why I had
Fundora
Rashid Ellis
problems.
on my mind? Because you know he
Oh,
just
we
signed.
got. Hold on, we can talk about that after this.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what I
we
was
can talk
thinking
about
in my
that.
mind. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, we
But
can talk about that.
I see the dude face on my goddamn screen, but I'm still
Yo,
thinking
I
Rashid Ellis at 147. My
I
bad.
think I think
He getting ready to get
yo
washed.
who getting ready to get washed?
Tony Harrison, man.
I like Garcia in the fight, bro.
Yeah,
I
that's
ain't
why I
even
said
gonna
he get
lie,
rocked.
man. I
I
like
see
Garcia
Garcia
in the
stopping him.
fight. I like. I don't know if he's gonna stop him, but I like Garcia in that fight, man. Like, I guess if you think
Peralta
about it, if
almost
he is,
stopped him.
yeah, I thought he lost that Peralta fight. I
Yeah,
thought,
he did.
actually, to be honest with you, Peralta's been getting prime fights ever since then because they knew he got robbed in that fight.
Well, we talked about that several times. That they usually
Yeah,
throw you a bone. Like we expecting the same thing from Mikael Fox here soon. Him to get a big limelight sort of stage as a
yeah,
pay.
absolutely. Old lady cardio said, looking forward to those highlights. Yeah, I'm gonna get them queued up for tomorrow and the rest of the week because this pretty much Saturday's fights is pretty much gonna be the topic the whole week. We'll throw a little different titles on there, but we basically gonna be um, basically prepping the entire week for this weekend's fights. Burt Wood vlog quote: the great Jack Dempsey said, "While the fighter thinking about what I am going to do, I am hitting him." Yeah, I mean
That's pressure.
yeah, that's and that's those are guys. It's just you have guys that think too much in the ring. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
that's
It's,
you know what that's like. My girl played that game Tetris, but
mm-hmm.
she the type. She's so good. She'll put a clock on it. So that's what that is. Fighting a dude like Dempsey is fighting with like being under pressure, trying to figure it out. The clock being his punches.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's almost equivalent to these puzzle games. Like you trying to figure something out, and he's steadily bashing you in the mouth, like
Yeah.
resetting your thought process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, sometimes some of the most technical fighters, they be thinking too much. Sometimes you just be better off letting your hands go and just let it flow in there. So it's a great quote. Will Stokes in the building, man. Winner of season 2 of the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League. Big shout out to Will Stokes. He said, we got a lot of fights this weekend. You think Murata could pull off the upset against Gennady? I have a weird feeling he might. So you know what? We're going to Will Stokes. With that being said, we're going to get into this Rashidi Ellis joint real quick, and then we're going to skip right over to Triple G and Murata. Rashidi Ellis signing with PBC. I had a feeling this was coming because we haven't seen Rashidi Ellis in a while. And usually when you don't see guys in a while and they usually, like kind of like out of sight, out of mind, in his type of situation, is either he's waiting for his contract to run out. So he probably just waited for his contract to run out. He couldn't fight probably because he had a probably if he fought, it was probably a kicker in that contract where it would have extended his contract. So seeing Rashidi Ellis on PBC, I think that's a great look for Rashidi Ellis. I think it's a great look for PBC because, if you 147 and you're not with Al, you're never gonna know how good you actually are because you're gonna have to fight all of those guys at 147 to really match yourself up. That's why I wish something happened with Virgil Ortiz, going forward. But what you think about Rashidi Ellis going over to PBC, bro?
The water's too deep, bro. The water's too deep. You thought you got lost in the wash over at Dezan because Dezan didn't have the stable to build you up like that. They barely got enough dudes to be running towards Virgil Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. So, and then he got lucky with a couple good names these last few fights. But if you really look back through his career, he ain't been fighting the who's who, but he got a lot of stoppages. So that makes you overlook the resume or the competition as like on a fine tooth comb, so to speak. You feel me? But speaking of Rashidi, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I was him, I would have maybe looked at doing something with Al. You feel what I'm saying? Because at least you'll kind of have the platform with
Who
one
you
or
talking about,
two.
Rashidi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who he signed
I
with.
mean, not Al, but Bob.
But ain't nobody over there though.
It's a cut. That's what I'm saying. It's a few bodies. You get built up enough, you might get the lower tier guys to come over and get a bigger bag. So you go over there, you almost like always the B side to all the other vets that've been. To me, he's the B side against a young Ramos.
Well, the way I look at it is I'd rather be the B side in a big pool than to be a A side, and I ain't got nobody to look across from me. Like, he
That's what I'm
had no
saying.
options. He
No, but
had
at
none.
least at top rank, I think the lights are just a little brighter for a guy that's already has somewhat of a name. So just a few more dollars invested, a little bit of,
But that's a
interview
lot.
here.
That's a lot to be doing for a guy that's not really known like that. Like
But
Rashidi,
again, if
Rashidi
you
not
all
really
right,
known
so
like that.
so you tell me they look at the 147 guy that they pushing now, Stan Ali
St- who Stan Jonas? You talking about
no,
that on? Who you
on
talking about
top rank.
on Top Rank?
Yeah, the Latin cat. He just came. He had a little banger just past weekend. 147, dude. He nice. He undefeated. To me, if you're in a pool with guys like that, you knock a couple of them guys off. I'm thinking you're able to get a big fight and get a look from somebody that might want to, Al and them. They'll send guys across the street, and the paydays are a little bit more different. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think maybe you should have probably possibly. I don't know if they did or not. If they
I
got a
just,
offer, got a
I don't,
conversation with Aram and them.
yeah, I don't think Top Rank got enough action. I don't think he got. It's a combination of Rashidi's name kind of being ice cold in these streets,
Yeah,
and Top Rank not having enough guys to really satisfy him long term. So I
top
do
rank.
think PBC,
First, we know the rankings would be PBC. Then we got to go
yeah,
top rank. Then you go Sky Dezan as a
yeah,
combination as far as that welterweight, as far as the supremacy and
yeah,
stables and who got the biggest names, blah blah blah. But at the
yeah.
same time, like I said, I just think you almost come up in the wash, and then you go over there, and there's still some gully vets over there that you could
I
possibly run into two back-to-back losses.
I listen. I'm not gonna lie. I could off top Rashidi Ellis, Luke Santa Maria. That's a good opening fight for Rashidi.
Again,
Give him a
the
nice
Ramos
little.
nephew.
Either one. I'm cool with either one of them. But they're barometer fights because we don't know how good Rashidi is.
He
We
don't got the
don't know,
power, bro.
and he may not have the power. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to find out what's popping with him. But at least with him being with PBC, at least they can throw him around to different guys and they can get a gauge on how good he is because you don't want to invest too much in Rashidi because if you invest too much in him and you find out he can't beat a Luke Santa Maria or even like a Paul Kroll, him and Paul Kroll is a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So
Kroll's
it's a
big.
but Kroll fight at 47.
I know he do, but he more like a
Oh,
154
he
type
more like a 50. Yeah, he more like a he's gonna fill out to a 54. But that's what I'm saying. Though I think Rashidi Rashidi has put himself in a position signing with Al where he gonna have to go through the gauntlet. But at least he's gonna go through the gauntlet and get paid. You know what I mean? Like, cause Top Rank don't have no gauntlet at 147. They don't have
What
no
you think
gauntlet.
they gave him? Is
I
it?
don't know what they gave. You know what I think they gave
I'm
him?
asking hypothetically. What do you for? We know where he is as a boxer currently. We know, like you said, his name colder than the six pack in the cooler right now on a picnic day. So what do you think the numbers was? Is it six figures? Is it four fight deal? Like what type of
I
numbers?
think I think he coming from Golden Boy. If I had to kind of put a guess on it, I definitely think it's probably more than four fights. I think it's probably more than four fights because he probably wanted the security because he know no matter who he faces, Al going. I ain't never met a broke Al Heyman fighter. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but all right. Now, what's your risk in that? Let's say it's a four, it's a six fight, 6 year deal. Say because them dudes average one fight a year, so 6 to
Yeah, I would
8
say
year
six
deal.
fights. Yeah.
What 8 mil?
What I think, um,
Is he $1 million a fight guy? I don't
nah,
think.
he's not even a to be honest with you, he's barely a six figure guy, if that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wonder
If
what his
that.
deal
I
is
I would
because I
say
know
probably
to
I
me
would say
No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cut you off. Let me
No,
get this.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
To me, his name helps out because now there's a new sort of guy you can kind of shoot around the muck, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just a fresh face in your deep pond, and that's always a good thing. You know, you got a pond with bright colored fish, and now you throw green fish in there. That just helps what's going on. So that's what he's going to do for Al. But to me, is that going to work for him? Like you said, you think the money wise it will, but I don't know career wise if this going to help him if he can't get the
I,
wins, bro.
yeah, I think Rashidi Ellis is gonna stay busy because he's in that pay grade where it's not the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like completely, like he's making dog shit. Like I could see Rashidi Ellis getting 3 fights a year easy because I don't think he's nowhere near a 7 figure guy. And like I said, I think the max he's making, I think the most he's probably ever made, probably with Golden Boy, he probably made less than 200, maybe about a buck 25. That might have been the most. That might have been his biggest payday. You know what I'm saying? I would have to do a little bit of digging on that, but usually the young pups they'll usually give them 50,000, 75,000. That's why we see Joey Spencer and all them all the time, and Vito Mill, Nicky Jr. and all them. Like we see them all the time because they purchases, they
Again,
purchases coop
if
money.
you want to pay them like that, look at the competition that they fighting too. So you're
That's what I'm
getting what
saying.
you're paying for.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you
Like, so
are.
it's like Rashidi is. It's going to be interesting to see.
This is
I
my
try to get at him.
thing. I think that they're actually gonna, like you said, give him those sort of Martin, maybe test him against a Ramos, but I don't know if they probably want to do that for him because maybe they want to keep building Ramos up and then throw him into with the big names. I think he's a guy for Thurman. He's a guy that'll be a good matchup on paper. Will it sell? I don't know, but on paper it looks good. Most of the hardcores know Rashidi Ellis. Everybody knows Thurman. So you kind of need a new, fresh face for those sort of guys. You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
think that's
there.
what the purpose is. Now, to agree with you, he may get a San Martin once or twice. Let him try to get those wins and propel him against, one of those Saturday real hardcore main events like we getting this weekend with Harrison and Sergio Martinez or Sergio Garcia. My bad.
Garcia. Yeah. It's going to be real interesting to see how they match Rashidi Ellis up. You going to tell a lot by his first opponent. You're going to tell
That's
a
what I
lot
said. I
by his
think
first opponent.
no, I
Yeah.
know that's what I mean. I think you're right though. But his first opponent could be the avenue that you're thinking, but it could be a build up though. You see what I'm saying? Like give him
Yeah.
a couple guys, let some fans get up under him, recognize him, whoop de whoop.
If they give him a softie, then I know they trying to build him. If they give him somebody like a Ramos or something out the rip, then he going through the gauntlet.
Yeah,
He
that's what
going
I
through the
think too.
gauntlet.
I
Yeah.
don't want to see him at Ramos' second fight. I think, like you said,
Yeah, that's a little too much for him right
I
now.
think he could beat Martin because Martin probably could struggle. He probably type of dude struggle to keep that 147 frame right, and you might be able to catch him with some speed and outbox him. You know what I mean? Even though he showed good pressure against Abel, but again, Abel's not a guy that's slick off the back foot or anything like that. So his pressure could look different against a dude that's a way better boxer that we know. We would estimate that Rashidi Ellis would be.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm a Will Stokes. We gonna get to Gennady in a minute. Toshi in the building. Big shout out to Toshi. Said Rashidi is going with his brother's side of the street. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I just want to see Rashidi Ellis in the ring. Like me personally, I don't care who they match him up against. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you're gonna find out what they think of Rashidi Ellis by how they line him up in this first fight. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna take it from there. Second Ezra in the building said, "Peace to my boxing family." Second Ezra, big shout out to you, family. Got my guy Rob Acosta in the building. Said, "Yo, what's good, bro?"
What's
Rob
going on, Coach?
Acosta. Hey man, happy belated birthday to you too, bro. I know your birthday was like a day or two ago, man. Happy belated birthday to you,
Salute,
man.
salute.
Salute to one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the game, man. Rob Acosta, man, strength and conditioning coach for Jerron Boot Tennis, and he got a lot of young pups too that he done got too. Rob, we gonna have to if I don't know if you want to get some of them guys on the show with us, because I know you want to shine a little bit outside of the the Boot Tennis umbrella, but he got a nice little stable of young fighters, man, that just came over to Rob Acosta, man. Working with him in that Boozy gym, man. He got him working. I think one or two of his guys just got a victory at the 2300. So, Rob, if you want, we would love to have
I
you
got a
on and
question
bring
for
some of your
Rob.
fighters on.
I got a
Go ahead,
question
vlog.
for Rob. If he had a second to answer, does he float through the city, or is he strictly at Bosie's?
Yeah, vlog said, do you float through the city or you strictly at Boozy's? I think I know the answer to that, but I'm gonna let him answer that. Burt Wood said, guys, how would Smoking Joe Frazier do today? Philadelphia's finest. I think Joe would do the same way he would in any era. Stay away from the big tall guy, and I'll give him a chance against anybody. I'll give him a chance against anybody. It's just I wouldn't put him up against the Foreman size guy. I don't like that matchup for Joe Frazier. Like anybody else, though, he has a legit shot. He has a legit shot against it. People
Question.
underestimated Frazier's boxing skills.
This will help. This will help Bert and anybody in the chat. Does Joe Frazier beat Otto Waller?
Absolutely.
There you go. Now we think. Now we know where we can gauge him in this era.
Yeah,
Keep away from the Furies. That the big guys that are heavy punchers.
Yeah, yeah, with Joe Frazier, like a guy like not saying that he would lose any of these guys. We talking style. You know what I'm saying? We talking style. I don't want people to get in here and start jumping on us and all that. When it comes down to style, a guy like a Fury, I would keep Frazier away from a Fury. Like that's too difficult of a style. A guy like a Joe Joyce, like I would just keep him away because he's so goddamn big. Like I would just keep him away. But even though AJ's bigger than like just as big as just as big as Joe Joyce, but I would feel comfortable putting Joe Frazier up against a guy like AJ, you know what I'm saying? Or a guy like Dillian White, or guys like that. Like so it's just
I got a good one for you. To me, I think it's a 50-50 with him and a guy like Dubois.
Let's see, I think he would knock Dubois smooth out.
But at the same time, hold up. But at the same time, Dubois does have the strength on his side to go with his size, and he is a guy that can touch people at range.
Yeah, the thing about it is it's not even about that for me because I think Dubois will pretty much get his offensively against anybody. It's really to get back. For me, I think Frazier would, I feel
fight. I still think Dubois has somewhat of the size advantage.
For sure. Bert, to kind of sum it up, I would feel comfortable putting Joe against anybody, almost anybody in any era. Almost anybody in any era, and I would feel comfortable with the matchup in terms of him. He's not gonna get fucking blown out. Joe Frazier is one of the best to do it. You know what I mean?
I think he fucks with a Riddick Bowe. I think he fucks
him and yeah, like I mean that Riddick, but yeah, like that era, like it'd have been crazy. It'd have been crazy. Robert Costa said, "Thanks, bro." Burt Wood, dream fight: Smoker Joe Frazier versus Mike Tyson. Who would win? Prime Frazier.
I think Tyson gives me too much power.
Yeah, I think Prime Tyson was I would.
When I'm from the city, when I was at his gym, I boxed in his gym, laced him up, got a couple summers in. So all due respect to the legend, I think Tyson Power would get it.
I think Tyson in his prime would have got Frazier. I think he would have got it.
And I think because Frazier fights the way he does coming forward, he had actually put himself in danger early. So I would say inside 4.
I'm talking Tyson, and I'm talking Tyson Customato Tyson. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking.
I'm talking Tyson, Mitch Green, Tyson, I mean, Tim Witherspoon, them type of dudes, that early Tyson.
That early Tyson. I think that early Tyson gets Frazier because it's like you hook with a hooker, and I mean Tyson had the most. He has one of the most lethal hooks of all time,
Yeah, Frazier
and
wasn't the best jabber, so
he wasn't the
that's,
best
that's
jabber.
a
So I
killer
think that
against
would have
a
been the
guy like
difference.
Tyson.
Yeah, that'd have been the difference in the fight. I think he had the better. I think Tyson had the better jab. Um, and that upper body movement, I think he'd have just gave himself more opportunities to get his hooks off.
Hey, shout out to the gym too. We used to call that shit the oven.
Yeah,
No AC
for
in that
sure.
motherfucker. Nigga.
Yeah,
Right on
it's
Lehigh, off Broad Street.
bro
Anybody?
in Lehigh. Yeah,
Yeah, y'all know. Right there,
I
Sunset
remember.
Dolphin. Anybody know
I
the city? They know what
you
I'm talking
know,
about.
yeah, the thing that's crazy. I met Joe Frazier before he passed. Um, Joe Frazier came because I used to work like in the tax department for the city, and him and like a representative of his came in, and they had to pay they like old taxes like on the building and all that. And at the time I was pissed off, man, because they called me in for a meeting, man. And that by the time I got out of there, he was gone. I ain't get no picture, no autograph, no nothing. Like I
Yeah,
was
I
pissed, bro. I
heard he
was
lost the
pissed.
building off of taxes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was there I was there working in that department when it happened. Like when I say they gave him every opportunity to try to get that thing rectified. And the sad thing about it, yo, nobody in Philly like stepped up to the plate and said, yo, like, OG, you a legend. Like I'm gonna pay these back taxes for you. We'll work something out. Not one person did that, man. Like it's crazy.
You know how
Uh,
the city is, man. This the place that
yeah,
moves Santa Claus, nigga.
yeah, for sure. Rob Akasi said, "I'll go anywhere. I got all my strength and conditioning stuff with me at all times. That's all I need. I'll travel to any state in any country. Money got to be right though."
Facts.
So that was
Facts.
for you. Will Stokes, Prime Tyson versus Prime Fury. Tyson beats Fury. Tyson beats Fury.
I don't know.
Tyson beats Fury. I'm gonna tell you why though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Tyson in his prime not only had the power, but his feet was so quick. He'll get the angles of where Fury can't even do none of that bullshit he be doing.
So are
Um,
we? So we saying we're not. I think what you not doing right now, what I'm doing, and I'm not a Fury guy, but I'm giving him credit for being a tough SOB. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not taking that away from him at all.
I
I
think
think he is a tough SOB.
that in the jab and his freaking height. Remember, this will be one of the tallest guys Micah ever fought. So
I'm with you
will that
100%.
go in? You know what I mean? And Fury's not the type of guy that'll lean in and help Mike like that. Fury's going to
Yeah.
lean back. So
I
that's
think
going to
his feet I think Tyson feet I think Tyson, if we talking prime Mike, because the question was prime Mike versus prime Fury. I was more impressed with prime. I was more, if we talking prime Tyson, Tyson's feet was just as impressive as his power. Like he had the feet of a welterweight. Like it just he was a phenomenon like beyond the power. Like the stuff that the head movement he was doing, getting from point A to point B to point C. If it was anything outside of Prime Tyson, then I would say Fury's physical dimensions would have gave Mike a lot of problems.
when you say prime, I'm thinking prime for Fury is now. I'm not thinking
Yeah, but yeah,
pre
I
Wilder.
no,
See,
I
a lot
do.
of people think pre Wilder.
No,
I think
I
after
agree.
Wilder.
I agree. I'm going right now. I'm going right now. So I take a guy. I can see Fury in that fight being not being very confrontational in that fight. And Tyson is very good at bullshitting and winning rounds. I can't really see him bullshitting and winning rounds against Mike. Um
I
I
man,
think I think Mike Feet wins him that fight. If you gave me another big man or something like within boxing history, like another big heavyweight that was a great, I would probably lean towards that person. I just don't think I don't see. I
just the
mean, of
first
course, it's
time y'all gonna
controversial.
hear this. That's why I like talking to Jeff, because we do not always agree, and it's not even pre-set up for us not to agree. I'm honestly thinking of this fight as we're talking about this, and there's two punches that come to mind, along with everything else we know about Fury, and
Mm-hmm.
that is the jab and the uppercut. And I think those two punches control the fight. And the first punch, obviously, the jab going to control the fight. And the second one, when Mike think he's going to get close, is going to be the sneaky one that's going to collapse it.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, for sure. Like, I
No,
just
I'm just saying, like, we breaking
no,
it down.
no, no. I feel you. I feel you. I could see if we were talking Mike when he fought Lennox, then yeah, I could definitely see that happening. But we talking young buck Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he would pull the victory off. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's that's the thing about them fantasy fights, man. You can go all day long with them joints, man, for
Can
sure.
let me comment real quick, since we done sent your boy Bird in here throwing out all these fantasy fights. I'm seeing one floating around the web, and there's no cap. Everybody know I'm not the biggest Canelo fan, and there's no disrespect. But to all the people that are fanboys that have pre-booked their room at the Marriott, and they done overpaid for their suites, and they think this dude can go up against the greats, I'm hearing these people thinking he could beat Tony. Lights out, Tony. These dudes have lost their marbles, man. And look, if you go to the Marriott Hotel, I'm telling you, it's a must that you day drink. You can't book a room there and not day drink. So obviously, that is what these people do on the weekends. And big shout out to them. You know what I mean? You like who you like and love who you love, but you got to be honest, bro. This dude is not a guy that could compare to the Haglers, to the Tonys. These dudes had marbles against
Yeah,
elite competition. They didn't they didn't go monsters on the Yeldermans of their era. You feel what I'm saying? Come on,
right.
bro. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, bro. Like, they gotta
I
fall back, man. But keep booking y'all suites, man. Keep wasting y'all money.
yeah. I the thing that's crazy about just with the fantasy fights, and everybody know James Tony. That's my favorite fighter of all time. But um, yeah, Canelo fights Tony. Tony
Beat the
mops him.
brakes off of
Tony mops. He mops Canelo, yo. He mops him. In my opinion, I'm talking prime Tony. Like I'm talking like Iran Barkley Tony. He mops. He mops him. He mops him. Like for sure. Will Stokes. Well, I guess we don't even know if Fury has even hit his prime yet. But let's just say this: Fury versus Prime Tyson. I Will Stokes always give it to us, man. Like, but he the champ right now. I can't really say that too well, man. Burt Wood, Smoker Joe Frazier was a great fighter. If you're on the ropes, yeah. Listen, like you can't get caught on the ropes or in the corners with Joe, because Joe was elite. He was just one of them dudes. Like your spacing and where you're at in the ring was essential. When you fought Joe Frazier, and that went for Ali too, because whenever he got in trouble with Frazier, his back was either on the ropes or very close to him. You know what I'm saying? Joe Frazier was great at that. You know what I mean? My boxing son, Chris G, in the building, he said, "I'm late. Who's getting upset in you guys' opinion?" I think Tony Harrison's getting
we
beat.
calling it. We the first fight
We
we call.
called, yeah. This our first time talking about it, so we
Harrison,
haven't
I
even.
think he gets stopped.
He think Harrison getting stopped. I think Garcia going to win the fight. I guess I got to lean towards that as well because Tony Harrison has never lost no decisions.
Who
When
training
he
Tony
loses,
Harrison?
it's a good question. It's a good question. It's a good question. Uh, Big Tree in the building. He said, "I'm running, getting that run, watching y'all. Appreciate you, good brother,
Well,
bro.
look,
I
boy,
gotta.
we
I gotta.
still
He
be
got
greedy.
he. He fights on the 16th, man. I
Yeah,
gotta
I'm gonna break his fight down. I
yeah,
check.
I got a little care package for you too, but I can't cash app it. So we gotta figure that out. We gotta figure that out. I do got a little care package for you though. But I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up probably tomorrow because I gotta work tonight. So I'll get with you tomorrow. We'll work everything out though. I ain't forget about you though, bro. Big shout out to Lance Lay 'em down Williams too, man. They both on the same card, man. April 16th, man. That was when I met them dudes like 2 years ago. They thought that would have never happened. Like they never thought they was going to get a fight in their own home state and all that. And not only they getting a fight in their own home state, they getting a fight on the same card. Yeah, headliners. You know what I'm saying? And Tree got a regional belt right now, and Lance getting ready to fight for a regional belt. So I think it's against Mitch LeConte too. So that's a good fight. So big shout out to my guys, man. It just goes to show that you put your mind to something and something's supposed to happen for you. It can happen for sure. Jose Vasquez in the building. He said, "What's up, brother? What's going on with you, family? Appreciate you stopping in, man, for sure." But let's get to let's get the Gennady. Let's get the Gennady and let's get the Murata. This is another fight
in the morning. East
the
Coast
fight is at fight 1:00 in the morning, man. Fight 1:00 in the morning, and that's over there in Japan. And a lot of people calling for the upset, man. A lot of people calling for Murata to win this fight, man. I know VP think he been saying it for months. He feel like Murata gonna win the fight. Vlog, what you think, baby?
Well, let me put this out here via the Canelo fans, and you know what I mean. Word on the street from all of those guys is he want to unify at 175.
Who wants to unify 175?
That Canelo wants to unify if Gennady Golovkin loses.
Of course.
He ain't got a chance in hell of unifying, so now that that's out the way, just a close fight, man. Goddamn, shit, it's a good fight. We know he got a chin.
And people don't give like it's funny because it's like he has this perception that he don't like taking shots, but he got a good chin.
Yeah, he took some steam from
Derevianchenko. Sergey.
Yeah, that Tonka truck dude.
Yeah, Sergey.
Yeah, he was hitting.
He said the Tonka truck dude.
I mean, shit, he was hitting him like he was backing up the swing with a truck. I'm like, God damn, nothing got to get on him. But this a younger version and a bigger version of a Derevianchenko. Did I say it right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Derevianchenko. Good job, bro. Chris G said y'all might as well change the channel name to We Hate Canelo. Nah, we don't hate Canelo. We don't hate Canelo at all, man. Listen, Chris G, you gotta think about it like this. Chris G, the fact that Canelo's name is mentioned with some of the past greats means that he's one of the best. Period. He's one of the best in this era. Like so,
when I say this,
go ahead.
If you match Canelo up against past guys at the different weights, I just lower that level to, let's say, the De La Hoyas, the Trinidads, the guys that were like kind of A- or B++ guys. Like, I don't know that he got the steam for the Haglers and again those boxers like a Leonard, again, because he did fight at 147. So there's different ranges that you can kind of match him up against in division. So to me, I think he's more of a guy that can beat like a young I say Purnell at 147 sort of situation, because I think he was stronger than a Purnell back then. You know what I mean? So I rank him little at that little bit off the top tier. I don't think he beats a Hagler, like I said. You know what I mean? He don't beat Andre Ward. Like, you know what I'm saying? These dudes are straight Hall of Famers.
And Chris G, we say the things we say about Canelo because we hold him up here. Like, always remember that. Like, if we didn't think he was up here, we wouldn't say the things we say about him or put him in some of the fantasy matchups that we put him in. That's because we hold him in a high regard. So, we don't hate Canelo at all. Like he's one of the sharpest dudes in the business, man. Like hands down. You know what I'm saying? So nah, we ain't changing no channel name that we hate Canelo, man. Uh,
Stop.
I stop that, man. Stop that.
It's them Twitter lovers, you know what I'm
Yeah, man.
oh man.
Jose Vasquez said, "What up, brother?" He said, "Just finished at my gym." Uh, okay. I think he got a gym in Iowa too. He said, "Need mid rounds with Tree James and Lance Williams ASAP." Jose, I would definitely get that over to them. Because they definitely preparing for fights. So, are
They
you a
should
trainer, Jose Vasquez? Are you a trainer? Um, I think he's a mid guy. I think I've seen him before. Andre Ward is the king of low blues.
receiving because he's taking a few. So
He has taken a few. He's dished out a few. I ain't gonna lie, but he's not the king though. He's not the
man,
king.
yeah. I ain't gonna say that. It may be 50-50 with him in that department because I know he was getting off on Kovalev and damn Bika. He got off on.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, for sure. Now Ward could definitely fight dirty. Like his idol was Bernard Hopkins. I mean, come on, like you know what I'm saying? They gonna get down and dirty. You know what I
so
mean?
North
Like I
Philly
mean,
style.
Andre Ward was from Oakland, but he fought like a Philly dude. He fought like a Philly dude, like for sure. He said, "I'm just throwing stuff at y'all." Hey, I know, Chris. Chris, I done schooled you well. I know you throwing stuff at us, man, for sure. I like Murata in this fight, man. I ain't even gonna fraud, bro. I like Murata in this fight. Um, I've seen outside of the Triple G. I'm at the Canelo fights. I've seen things technically from Triple G that I don't really like. I think he's keeping his head off. He's not keeping his head off the line, like he used to, and it's just a little subtle things that I'm noticing with Triple G, and he's ice cold in these streets too, man. It's been a while since he's been in the ring against anybody of quality. Go ahead,
Now,
bro.
okay, we know how the show go. You know what I mean? We give it to you from both sides. Advantage is Triple G, the layoff, and the fact that we really haven't seen uh Royoto. Is that it?
Ryota.
Ryota push back. You see what I'm saying? He's been a guy that's been, front runner in these fights and, stopping the fights when he's, really foot on the gas, going forward when he wants to sort of guy in the clips I've seen. I haven't seen every fight of his, but he seems to be that sort of guy that knows he's going to control the fight and he's going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. I think this is a fight we got to look at the ability of Triple G to come forward. Why? Because he's a guy that's not scared. So how is a dude like Ryoto Murata going to react? So you got to look at it from the other side and say there's maybe some advantage there for Triple G.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's he has. Listen, let me say this: Triple G has more advantages than Murata. Like, let me make that clear. I'm not saying Murata's going to win the fight because I think he's more skilled or anything like that. I think a combination of the age, combination of him just even not even being in good competition, even like before the layoff. I think that can really come back to get him. And Murata can punch, man. Murata can punch. He can really, really, really punch, man. Like, so I just think Murata gonna hit him with something nice. I'm taking a leap of faith here because I kind of just don't want to see Triple G and Canelo again. I don't want to see it again. So maybe that's my heart talking, but I think Murata I think he has a legit shot. I think he has a legit shot because he
I,
got power in both hands, man.
I agree with you that Murata coming into the fight and just, in my estimation, because none of this is set in stone, but I think he has more advantages. It's a home fight, home
Mm-hmm.
country. I don't think it would matter what city.
Right.
So I think him having that home country advantage, uh, the time, I think that time zone thing
Mm-hmm.
will affect Triple G more. Why? Because he's more of a Western fighter. I don't care how long you've been out there. I don't think you've been out there long enough to really acclimate like that. How long has he ran around Russia consistently like that, where his body is just used to being on that zone like that? I don't know. I think the time zone may affect. You see what I'm saying? So, uh, youth. Murata got youth on the side. He's the younger fighter. He has less wear and tear, like Jeff just spoke on. So, I mean, I think more advantages go to Murata than Triple G.
I would say more. Triple G has a better skill set, but the actual, I guess the actual parameters of the fight, like him being a hometown fight, and like you said, the age factor and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
the
I wouldn't.
layoff and all
Taking
that. Like,
aside
yeah,
the ring advantages, I'm just
yeah.
saying
You
like
talking about just the overall vibe
yeah,
of the fight?
yeah,
Yeah,
just the vibe of the fight.
I got you. I got you. Burt Wood said Joe Frazier was a inspiration for Rocky, but said the movie was sad to him. Frazier was also the inspiration for a pair of classic scenes in the movie Rocky. That's true. That's very true. The thing, the thing was like if you watch Rocky and you know Philly boxing, then Rocky style outside of the no defense, like his offense was all Joe. That's all Joe Frazier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all Joe Frazier. You know what I'm saying? But
And the character in himself, the workman character, just the
yeah,
blue
that's
collar
Joe.
guy, that's Joe Frazier.
That's Joe. That's all Joe. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into this Ryan Garcia um Tegu fight, man, at 139 pounds. Not 135, not 136, 37, and 38. 139 pounds. So this is basically a junior welterweight fight in my book. Um, on the 1 to 10 meter, with upset alert should Ryan Garcia be on from 1 to 10?
Uh, oh, I'm a Garcia fan originally,
Yes, he is. Yes,
not
he
like
is.
a lot of what I'm seeing as far as how they the career thing going, a lot of the training situations and all of that, the people he was associated with, I didn't think that was good. I thought he should have made the switch a long time ago. These are reasons I kind of fell back. But in this estimation, he's going against a guy who I've learned to appreciate, a dude that just go to work, man. I'm taking a fight wherever. Former world champion IBO, albeit, and we've recognized the IBO when other fighters have grabbed that belt, but some reason he's had that belt at lightweight. Oh well, he ain't no champion, he ain't nobody. Okay, but I ain't even gonna we ain't gonna get into that right now. You understand what I'm talking about? But I think 10, bro. I think 10. And the main reason it is not even because of the ability that I've seen Tagu show me in various full fights I've seen now to date. Because you
Mm-hmm.
get there's the joint called Daily Motion. They
Yeah.
had one of the fights on. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what the? Watch the whole fight. Yeah, I mean, and he whitewashed dude start to finish. I thought he should have got the knockout in that fight, but he didn't. Put the foot on the gas. Maybe he knew dude or something. I don't know. But anyway, that being
Yeah.
said, I think 10, bro, just because of the weight situation. That's my main reason. To me, you're not coming in focused enough.
Um, Chris G said like a 3 out of 10. For Ryan Garcia as far as the upset meter. I'm gonna go with a I'm gonna go with a I'm gonna go with a 5. Um, only because I haven't seen enough tape on Tegu, me personally. So anything I know about Tegu, I really have just kind of just deferred to vlog on that. But I personally have only seen um one fight and some highlights of Tegu. So I don't have enough tape on him to really say um he's like an 8 or a 9. But because of I don't like that weight thing. That tells me a lot. It tells me a lot. So I'm saying 5 simply off of Ryan Garcia is ice cold in these boxing streets, and I ain't talking about in terms of being talked about. I'm talking about in terms of like last time he's been in the ring against a quality opponent that can crack a little bit. Um, just this 139 says a lot. So I'm gonna say a 5 until I get some more tape on Tegu. If I get some more tape on Tegu and do some more film, I might up this to a 6. I might up it to a 6 or possibly a 7 based off of what I see on tape. But the one fight he had on the zone, it wasn't. That's not enough tape for me. It's not enough tape for me.
2 week notice. So, well, 2 weeks here in the country.
Well, that's part of the reason why I said this. It wasn't enough tape for me. It wasn't enough tape.
It's fill out box, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how Tegu really get down under like normal circumstances. So I know in that fight on the zone, it wasn't typical circumstances. So it's kind of hard for me to say, oh well, he did a poor job, or I wish he would have did this and did that. People act like situations don't happen prior to a fight. People
That's
act
why
like it don't
I'm
happen.
giving.
But
That's why I'm giving people facts that
that's
they can help rejudge the fight with.
yeah, like that's why I think that's why Shane and I be going at it all the time, because a lot of times he won't factor in things that actually happened prior to the fight or in fight. Kind of like the Gary Russell thing. He was like, I don't care. I don't care if he was injured, but I'm like, whether you care or not, it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to factor it in. Like, yeah, you have to factor it in because that's what happened. You know what I'm
But then
saying?
you had to also factor in how he boxed with that. And
exactly.
You can probably say he got the draw.
Yeah, exactly. Or possibly one.
Because I think Maxayo won 2 because aggression has to be judged. Now, whether was it super effective? Not necessarily, but he was the aggressor, and you have to judge aggression in boxing. So I edged him, but it could have been a draw because your boy boxed well for a one-armed dude, and he used it when he could, like, as far as defensively and things like that. So
that's why I say with Maxayo, there's no way you're a you're a world class fighter and you get beat by a one armed guy. I don't care how good the one armed guy is. That's how I know Maxayo needs some work, and that wasn't the best style for him anyway.
Is he a guy that normally trains here? See, again, when you switching,
I think he does. I think he's out that wild card. He out that wild card, John. So he's used to being here.
So we can't. Okay,
I was just wanting to know. No, I feel you.
Guys go back and forth a lot.
Yeah, he's in that wild card, Jim.
Because they depend on that promotion in the homeland to actually get eyeballs for fights and stuff. They can't just be recognized for being here and they not home doing a lot of that. Because I know Donaire is a guy that goes home and does some training and things like that. So
yeah. No, definitely. Chris G said vlog with Tegu was like me with Benavidez. Nah, I don't think.
I'm being. See, I'm about to hit you with another one right now, and this is just me looking at the parameter of the fight. This extra weight, I think, helps Tegu because what I'm seeing, and this is he's sharing it with the folks. He putting some beef on, so it's not like just extra leg stuff or anything. You know what I mean? This actual muscle that he putting on, so. He might be a problem on the stalk side coming forward. And we don't know that Ryan can box very well off the back foot. Could he be pushed back? You know what I'm saying? Could his wind be tested? Could this be something about, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. It's a lot of questions when you changing the weight last minute. They did that 3 weeks before the fight, bro.
So it's a 4-pound weight difference. Big layoff, new trainer. That's a formula for disaster. Just boxing history. I'm not hating on Ryan Garcia or Joe Goosen or anything like that. That's usually a recipe for disaster. When you're negotiating a weight that's 4 pounds higher than your natural weight, long layoff, and you have a new trainer, and you got knocked down in your last fight.
I'm gonna just say this
it's at least at a 5. It's at a 5 for me. Off of
another thing for anybody in the chat. you got to look at this dude has not lost. And we know what it is against dudes that have not lost. They don't know how to lose. So psychologically, there's some now I wouldn't say advantages, but some levels that we gotta analyze. Because if you're looking at a dude that hasn't lost, and he's a guy that's fought internationally, and that's including America, come on, man, this you know what I'm saying?
Chris G, I don't think vlog with Tegu is as bad as you with Benavidez. I don't think it's that bad. I just think that's
That's just
vlogs hitting gym.
I found the
That's
guy.
vlogs hit
That's
that's
my hidden,
vlogs hitting
yeah,
gym.
that's my hidden gem, my number one.
Yeah, that's his hitting gym. But you would move Benavidez in your house if you could.
Be roommates.
Be roommates. Be
Be room-
roomies.
Chris will roommate and pay all the rent.
Chris G and Benavidez will be roomies, man.
Like, man, I have
watching fight tape and everything. Mom Duke's cooking and all that, man. Like,
hey, he'll train Benavidez for free.
Right. Hold on just a second, bro.
Chris. It says G5 Philly Frazier ended up working at Slaughterhouse. Stallion got the same idea for Rocky. Used a story about me training and running up the steps of the museum. Facts. All facts. All facts.
No, definitely facts. Chris G laughing. He laughing because that's a damn fact. Mom Dukes had them meals right now. No, Mom Dukes probably cooking good too, man. Benavidez be fighting cruiserweight, fucking around with Chris G and his mom, man. Pops, for real, man. But I do not be surprised if Ryan Garcia goes through hell in this fight, man. I do not be surprised because the one thing I will say about Tegu in the zone fight is now I'm not gonna lie. I wish he would have stepped on the gas 8, 9, and 10, because what happened was it seemed like he was content, and you could tell he's not used to fighting in the States because you can't leave nothing up to the judges. In the last 2 rounds, he went in cruise mode, and I didn't like that, but I didn't hold it against him because that was his first time fighting in the States. So I didn't hold it against him, but I hope somebody actually had a conversation with him about that because the scorecards was actually closer than what it should have been. The judging was bad in that fight. The judging was bad in that fight, even though he got the victory.
I equate that, bro, to that change in time zone. You understand? Your body, even though you can say, yo, I done trained, I done walked around, whoop-de-whoop. When you actually got to go out there and go to work, you going to feel like you in a different time. It's not the same sort of work that you've done where you eat, you get up, you know what I'm saying, that you used to. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's something that he didn't take into fruition. And then again, it was a last minute fight for them. It was like I think they put it together once they heard me bang his name, and next thing you know, they gave him a call and was like, can you make it over here? I'm telling you, bro. They wasn't talking about this dude until I mentioned him, and I'm just going to dislocate my shoulder trying to pat myself on the back, but y'all call 911 if I need you to. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, though, bro, that was a last-minute call, and he admitted to that.
Yeah. Chris G, that weight thing for Brian, last minute new trainer getting knocked down. Yeah, actually, it's like a 5 danger against Tegu. I'm saying at least a 5 without the game tape. Without the game tape. But I might have to rewatch. Who did he fight on the DAZN card? I know that same dude fought I know he fought Devin Haney and he fought Teofimo. Devin Haney won by decision. That fight was here. And he got
I thought
knocked
that was
out
the
by
last dude that Haney stopped.
Nah. He actually, you know what? He did stop him. I
That was
think
the
he stopped
last
him in the
dude that
10th
Haney
round.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 10th round. Damn, what was his name? See, now I gotta
Mason Menard.
Mason Menard. Yeah. Chris G. Good job. Mason Menard. But I remember Devin Haney fought Mason Menard in Philly, and I remember that fight because that was the fight that they really separated from Mayweather Senior, because Senior was trying to run around, make it seem like he the one that put in all the work for Devin Haney, and that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? Dad came and shut that shit down. I remember him. He had Mayweather Senior sitting on the apron like he was a cut man. That shit hurt his soul, man. I remember that fight. Burt Woods. So the statue of Rocky is really Frazier. They it's a the prototype of Rocky is Frazier. Like the style of Rocky is Frazier.
Yeah,
Like the
that
fight style
no,
and everything
not the
else.
statue, not the
Not the
statue.
statue. Like Rocky got his own
Willie
statue, and Joe
ain't never
Frazier got
done
his
that
own
for
statue.
nobody.
Yeah,
They
Joe Frazier
did
got
this
his statue where the Sixers play
now, but he didn't have it
now, but
then.
he didn't have it then, right? But the thing that's crazy, Rocky is just as famous as it's probably more famous than Joe Frazier, and
And
they
Joe
took
Frazier,
Joe Frazier they took his whole style.
we know what it
Whole
is.
style. We know what it is though.
Yeah.
Chris G, Mason Menard, yeah, appreciate that. Chris G, Haney got the stoppage on him in the ninth round corner retirement. Yeah, I remember that. That was right at 2300. That's at
And
2300 arena.
what I was hearing about that fight was what they said he had came in doing. I remember hearing the announcers that night say he came in better condition against Tagu than he did at the Haney show. That's what they said.
Yeah.
I
The
don't.
thing,
I don't
I
know.
think, I remember, the guy, the pastor dude to be with him, I forgot the dude's name, but wanted to be talking all the time in Haney corner, the OG. And I remember he was at the weigh-in. He was just talking. Like it was crazy. Like it was absolutely crazy. Like him talking like that. But no, Mason Menard came into the fight. I don't think he came in. He didn't come in bad shape against Devin Haney. Devin Haney was just
I didn't say. I'm just saying what they said. I'm judging the fights. Like Mason Menard condition wise was better than what they saw against Haney. So
I think Mason Menard. I mean, listen, it was a good fight for Tegu. I thought that was a perfect name for Tegu to bring him into the States. Thought it was a perfect name,
I mean, you don't want to. And again, same thing with Nicotalia. Even in a loss, the perfect name to throw him against was a guy in Shakur Stevens. You know what I'm saying? We needed an international guy to kind of go against too. You see what I'm saying? Like, even though
bro?
Mexico or guys from Puerto Rico, technically you could say is international, but really that's the Western Hemisphere. So bringing a guy from over out that way was not a bad idea.
You know what, bro? You know what we can do? If I can find this Tegu and Mason Menard fight, you know what? They got a Tegu fight on here from 3 years ago. Maybe what we'll do tomorrow, or maybe sometime this week, we'll run one of Tegu's fights live during the show. Have it playing on the screen. Take a look at him.
If y'all think it's got action.
Yeah.
Like I said, you gotta look at from whatever you've seen then or whatever we're going to see, this dude is bulking up. Because that's what he's sharing right now. You go hit his IG up at official Emmanuel Tagu. You know what I'm saying? He on that iron.
Yeah, we because YouTube has they got the Mason Menard fight. Actually, they got a couple of fights with Tegu on YouTube now where they wasn't they wasn't on here.
He wasn't on again, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I ain't even gonna say it no more, man. You just when you get a second, my dude.
We're gonna play at least one or two of these fights, man, during the shows this week. And again, for YouTube, this is the Fair Use Act. We can using it for commentating purposes only. So when we put this on, man, I don't want to hear no crap. You know what I'm saying? Chris G, why was Tegu inactive? Tegu, to be honest with you, well, Vlog, you want to speak on that?
I can only guesstimate to him trying to become more international and kind of waiting for an opportunity. But because nobody was talking about him, maybe the opportunity didn't present itself until people actually started talking about him. Just my guesstimation. Because again, this is a former IBO champion. So at some point, he was recognized that way.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe them guys was like, yo, we done really all we could do. Same thing with Sandor Martin. It was time maybe to take a step this way and accept an opportunity, even though it may be one you could possibly lose. But I think we have another Sandor Martin sort of thing going on. We know Mikey had some weight issues and some out of the ring things going on. Same thing with Garcia. Not per se personally issues, but then again, he did. He's saying he had a little breakdown or whatever. Then you want to be super mega businessman. A lot on your plate, bro. How are you going to be ready for a guy that's a dog? That's like Sandor Martin was a good boxer, but he actually showed he got some fight in him too. You feel what I'm saying? So we know that Tagu can box because he's undefeated. So obviously you can box, bro. You don't got a donut. Again, if you outbox 17 goddamn cashiers from 7-Eleven, you still can box to a certain extent. So I'm just saying,
The
we don't
7-Eleven international champion of the world.
man. I think we're gonna find out if he can punch in this fight. I think we're gonna find out if he really got some steam. And again, he an OG, so older dudes sit down on their shots a little bit. Just saying, man.
And um, the thing about Oscar De La Hoya, he's a historian. I guarantee you, when he set up this fight with Tegu, he probably was thinking about the fight he had with Ike Corte. That's probably exactly what he was thinking, bro. When he put this fight together, man. And I ain't heard nobody actually say that neither. But the one thing, as crazy as Oscar De La Hoya has acted at times, like he's one of he has one of the best resumes ever. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't anybody.
Resume?
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, boxing resume. Like it's
terrible promoter.
Yeah, he's a terrible promoter, but I'm like him himself. He fought any and everybody. He fought any and everybody, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I give him that.
Yeah, for sure. But we gonna see what happens with this Tegu and Ryan Garcia fight. But we gonna run a couple fights. So I'm thinking get some Tegu fights running on the live. There's not really too much film on Murata neither, so I'll find some Murata film. We can have that playing. Trying to think what else. Maybe some Shane Mosley Jr. Get some fights to him just to get y'all familiar. Y'all used to the main guys. Y'all seen the main guys already. We want to get y'all familiar with the guys that y'all may not have seen on your screen for a long period of time, man. So we definitely gonna line that up starting tomorrow. We'll start with the Tegu footage tomorrow, and we can actually start watching some of it and really start, stop and pause and be like, yo, that combination might not work against Ryan Garcia. That might work against Ryan Garcia. So we can kind of do a live film study on Tegu maybe today and tomorrow and maybe Wednesday, and we can get that on and popping, man. There ain't really nobody doing that. You know what I'm saying? Get some live game tapes. I don't know if it's specific fights you want to pull up, vlog, but
I can break down anything that's on film, bro. It don't matter. As soon as you put your hands up, I can tell somebody how to beat you.
Yeah, so we can definitely definitely do that.
I ain't gonna lie.
We can definitely do that. Yeah, for sure.
Calling it, man.
No, listen, man. Like vlog been on a nice little hot streak, man. Nice little hot streak, man. Like you gotta give it up when it's time to give it up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that'll be dope going forward. Because I mean, Triple G ain't been in the ring with nobody legit in so long. All his footage is old footage. You know what I'm saying? All his footage is old footage.
That's why I said you got to look at that rest and that ability to rejuvenate yourself as a slight, a positive. You know what I mean? More of a positive than a negative, I think, in his situation, because we know he knows how to fight. He knows how to box.
Oh, you know what? Fundora Garcia is on YouTube. We can run that too.
Yeah, we can run that too. I wanna. Yeah, I seen advantages for Sergio because he's a come forward guy, and and Tony, I don't know. I mean, again, I gotta see what he's kind of putting out and showing the world lately. Maybe he's looking a little bit leaner. Maybe he's kind of looking, somewhat where he got some movement back to him, but he looked very sluggish against Peralta. That's the last fight I seen him in the ring. So I'm edging just based on recent memory. I'm edging Garcia in that fight.
Yeah, so I guess vlog we can what I'll do is maybe later on. Matter of fact, when not to call you, because the last couple times I called you've been asleep and I done felt bad because I like
Bro,
what's the
I get
times
off,
not
I
to
get
call?
off at 6, so I like in the morning I gotta go do the blood test tomorrow. Then I got like a biopsy all this week, so I got like a bunch of appointments this week trying to
Okay.
still figure out what the
Well,
fuck going on, bro. So
yeah. Well, just shoot me a text when you're available, and then we can kind of just go from there. Because I don't be wanting to like wake you
yeah,
up and shit like that. So,
what you ain't in the office
no,
right now?
nah, I gotta go in tonight, but I'll be off tomorrow.
What time
So,
you get off in the morning?
7:30. So that's like, what's that? What am I 3 hours ahead?
Yeah, all right. I
Or
might hit you.
4:30.
I might hit you because they don't really start pulling in at the job till like 4:30. So I might
Okay,
hit
yeah,
you there for a
because
few minutes.
I want to run down. I want to get maybe about 6 to 8 fights that we could possibly pull, and we ain't got to run through all of them like in its entirety, but maybe
I know. Yeah,
play the first
yeah.
couple
See what we
rounds of
gotta
each
do?
joint.
Yeah, we gotta find like those good 2 to maybe 4 minute joints where they kind of showing a good amount of different rounds and showing us, how they break them down at the
Yeah,
end.
so you kind of
So we can see the positives of
yeah,
obviously
so we
the fighter
can
that won.
we can definitely do that. I really want that Tegu and Menard fight. That's what I really want. I'm gonna find it. I know I could put it up on the zone. I don't know if
No,
they
no, we
gonna.
ain't gonna run it on the zone. It should be on YouTube because the zone got a YouTube channel.
Let me see.
Everybody got a
Tegu
YouTube channel.
Tegu versus Menard. Yeah, maybe they got now they got highlights on here.
That's
They
what I
got
said.
highlights,
That's
so we
what
can
we
do
want to do.
highlights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we can
want
do
to run through the highlights and elevate the positivities, and then that way people can see in more of a
yeah.
shorter format. Because
Yeah,
a round takes so long to develop, people be done got bored
we'll
with the damn chat.
yeah, we'll run the highlights. We'll before I even run any of the videos, I'll definitely credit whoever video it is that we running just to add an extra layer of protection on it just in case YouTube wanna act stupid. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
bro, I'm telling you, they policy is as long as it's YouTube, it can't
It's
be a
be good
copy.
money. Okay.
Yeah,
All
because
right, fair enough.
we're on YouTube using
We're
other
using
YouTube
YouTube.
content. Well,
All
like how
right,
you
fair
gonna give
enough.
me a copyright?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we gonna definitely we gonna do that. Burt Wood, very sad. Frazier said he never earned a cent from the backstory Rocky. That's criminal, to be
Bro,
honest with you. But
that's
but you
just
know what, Burt? The Burt, I will say this though. I will say this. Back in the day, what they used to do, if they wanted to do something like that, they might have came to him with a brown paper bag with some money. Back in the day, that type of stuff happened. They might have thrown him a little. They might have thrown him a bag. He just ain't know that bag should have been 100 times more than whatever was in that brown bag. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I,
know.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think they might have showed love at the time, catered. What I'm saying, invited to some dinners. I don't know if they did that because
They
he
might not
was.
have.
No, I'm being honest because the investing in that was so personal. He was basically spending a lot of his own money, so he wasn't splurging, quote unquote, just Hollywood money like that. That was really a roll of the dice. So from my estimation and what I know, I don't think he did that with Jefferson because they didn't have it. Like I said, to show him some love and get and talk to him and chop it up. Yeah, I'm sure they probably invited him to one of them fancy Marabella joints that they got out in Philly or one of them other fancy Society Hill ass restaurants. Yeah, I'm sure they schmoozed him up a little bit, but I don't know if they slipped him a bag under the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might not have happened. But to the fact that nobody actually even like mentioned that, nobody ever mentions that. Like I'm like, yo, like Rocky's actual character is Joe. Like in ring is Joe. You know what I'm saying? Chris G, I recognize the IBO like a regular belt, maybe like an interim. Chris G, the one thing that I learned about like belts, and I know a lot of people they say WBC, WBO, IBF, WBA. Um, and because of corruption, we don't look at it this way, but a lot of belts have certain meaning to it in terms of rankings and things like that. So some of these like the IBO title means something because it puts a person at a certain rank. Even like the regional titles, those regional titles usually get you showbox opportunities. You understand what I'm saying? So I do understand the value of some belts outside of the top four. Go ahead, Vlog.
Another dude, we speaking of regional titles, and he semi still on that welterweight radar. The boy Quentin Randall got a fight for I believe a
Good
WBA
point.
silver title. So
Good point.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
this weekend or the following weekend, but I know it came past my little timeline on IG. So I think
Yeah.
that's another good look while that we talking these off brand titles, because a guy like Randall grabs that WBA title, he's in a position to have to be uh offered a fight or suggested when they're in the back room talking. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Stan Jonas route, like, because that's a WBA situation. So once Stan Jonas and Budabayev figure their situation out, they're still on the fringe waiting for things to iron out at the tippy top. So here's a fight for them. The winner of Randall, I forgot the other gentleman's name, but I'll get that and do a post on it myself on IG. So follow me on IG, boxing the number one STVLOG. And a big shout out to Randall and his opponent. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for like I was saying, Stan Jonas and Budabayev, they can still stay busy because here's a new face with some sort of regional title coming into it. You know what I mean? Because I believe that's a WBA gold. Maybe they
Yeah.
still fighting for it. So again,
Yeah. Those.
I think
Yeah.
these do mean something, like Jeff was saying.
And that's just a part of developing as a boxing insider. As a hardcore. I think it's kind of easy to say, oh, well, if you don't have the WBO, the IBF, the WBA, or the WBC, then you don't mean nothing. But I'm like, you don't know these guys' journey to get to that point. You have to win regional belts. You have to win those silver belts. You have to win those gold belts in order to get yourself up to that point because those belts means rankings. You know what I mean?
And
They
to
all
add
mean
on,
rankings.
to
Hmm.
add on to what Jeff's saying, you have to find out if your fighter has those championship rounds. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So you have to put him in contests that add those championship rounds to really find out, is he that guy when is really climbing up the ladder to these straight marquee fights.
Yeah, yeah, for
Without
sure.
that, how would you find that? Most fights are 10 rounds. How you got to wait till he's in the championship fight to see if he can go 12? That's
Yeah, I
why
know
not
Paul.
put him in
I
some
know
sort of
Paul
region,
Kroll. Yeah, Paul Kroll just took a fight.
NADF and fights like that.
Yeah, Paul
Like,
Kroll. Paul Kroll just took a belt. Took a title fight. I mean, a fight that was for like a regional belt. That was gonna get him a top 15 ranking. Now, that was the fight in Philly, and he knocked the dude down in the first round, and he ended up winning that fight. The only reason he took that fight is because it was a regional belt on the line, and that would have guaranteed him a top 15 ranking.
shit,
At
you got,
147. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Would y'all be surprised if Ryan got a first to third round KO? Uh, Only way that happens, bro, is unless he catches Tegu like ice cold. Like I mean, like he hasn't warmed up correctly, something like that. But usually high level fights, you don't really see that, Chris. So I'm gonna say no because the one fight, if you watch the fight with Menard, um, Taker was really good with his feet. Like he's not the fastest dude in the world, but he gives you subtle movements to where you can't really track his every move. So that's why I would say I don't think a first or third round KO is realistic. I do think Tagu needs to be defensively responsible for the first 2-3 rounds of the fight, though. He has to get acclimated to his speed. I don't care how good Tagu is. He has to get acclimated to that speed. The quicker he gets acclimated to the speed, the better off he'll be offensively in terms of because I think he's gonna have to rip to the body first half of the fight. He's gonna have to slow this kid down because he's not. Ryan Garcia's hand speed is insane, but when you're dealing with a guy like that and he has a wiry frame, Ryan Garcia don't have no inside game. He has no inside game whatsoever. So if Taku can get on the inside and really start ripping them elbows and them ribs, I think it will serve him well later on. But yes, Tagu needs to be defensively responsible for the first 3 rounds of the fight and just pick his shots when he can and gradually get himself into the fight. Ryan Garcia is a front runner. He's a front runner. That's why I'm saying that.
To answer your question, if your boy do that, then he will be putting himself in danger. Because if he does that, look for that early KO, that means he's going to open up too much. And then he's not the type of boxer that sets up knockouts like that. His knockouts usually develop based on how the fight is going. He's not a guy that really sets his shit up. Because you look at the left hook to the body from that got Campbell out of there. That kind of just came based on what was happening in the fight. It wasn't something that he set up. He didn't kept on repeated left hooks upstairs to where he made a feint upstairs and then went downstairs.
Yeah.
That was there because he caught Campbell going backwards and he threw a left hook while he was going out the back door.
Yeah. Yeah, just definitely.
If you look at like trying to get rid of him in 3, that means he either set it up and got him out of there, and then he's not fighting a guy whose IQ is on his level, and I don't think his IQ is that elite. He's physically gifted with speed. That means he's going to burn himself out trying to throw too many punches, looking for the knockout. So he's subject to getting clipped. So I don't see for those couple reasons that we get a early stoppage.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, like I said, only way I see is unless he catch him with a shot he don't see, or just Taker was ice cold coming to the ring, like didn't warm up properly or something like that. Anything outside of those 2 things, I really don't see it happening. Andre Southgate in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said Frazier must have been involved somehow. He was on screen as well before Creed fought Rocky. I don't think it was criminal. He must have gave they must have gave him a bag. After Vlog explained, like kind of gave his spin on it. If they didn't give him a bag, I think they probably gave him a good amount of perks that don't involve. Yeah, later on, I think they gave him a good amount of perks.
Probably later on.
I think, but like the initial, like the pilot, the pilot Rocky, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Because, like I said, from his word, that was a lot of personal money, close friend sort of investment sort of thing, where he was kind of going out on his own.
Yeah. Chris G. Jonathan Javier Fierro just won a regional to give him a 15 spot in the WBA. Facts. He said, I'm high on that dude. Like those, they're important. See, it's YSM Source Media. Big shout out to my bro. He said those NABA, NABF titles make you automatically ranked in the top 15. Yeah. And like I said, 3-4 years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that on camera. But that's the part we all developing is boxing, boxing OGs in the game, man. Like you got to learn the whole landscape from down to the amateurs, the states, the Golden Gloves, the Nationals, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Burt Wood, Frazier gave almost as good as he got for 14 rounds, then had to be held back by trainer Eddie Futch as he tried to go out for the final round, unable to see. Eddie Futch is one of the best trainers in history, and his name does not get mentioned enough. It is not. Eddie Futch done put his paws on a lot of different fighters, man. He put his imprint on a lot of fighters, man. And it just his name just don't get mentioned enough, man. Like I'm a big fan of Eddie Futch. Why somebody said, did y'all hear about the news in Cuba? No. What's going on in Cuba, bro?
They letting their guys go pro.
All right, yeah. All right, what's going on in Cuba? I don't know, but the one thing about them Cuban fighters, man, like it's how many Cuban fighters actually are exciting?
Amateur wise, a lot of them guys are decent.
I was
And
talking pro. I mean, amateur, they
that's
the
what I said.
truth.
That's what I was getting ready to lead to. A lot of them guys I don't know have the longevity for pro because they don't train for long fights. You
Right,
see the point?
right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's the one thing where you kind of got you rolling the dice with those guys because you start adding 4 to 6. Then you want to jump from 6 to in between 10, 8 to 10. Like that's a lot of adding on because you don't want to sit around with those guys. They older guys too. They done box. They got a lot of wear and tear on the tread, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So sometimes you rolling the dice when you try to elevate these guys. Not fast track, but you ain't babysitting them either.
yeah. He said, yup. First time in 60 years. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. They allowing them to go pro. That's crazy. You know how many families got separated and like fighters just got separated from their families and just to pursue boxing. That's crazy, yo. Like
But
that's I don't think people realize how big news that is.
but that's credit to the junior. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody that isn't as iron fisted. That whole that new generation of that regime. They're not as iron fisted. So big
I
salute to him. And plus, it's a money thing.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sure
I
they're going to keep the strings to a certain extent on their fighters,
right.
especially the ones that they estimate could be the international stars, so to speak.
And you know the thing that's crazy, and like I forgot the Cuban fighter's name, slipped my mind, but like Keyshawn, I love Keyshawn Davis game. Like I love Keyshawn Davis game, but the guy that he kept losing to, like in the Olympics and all that, the Cuban dude, like he cannot beat that dude. He cannot beat that dude. Like he lost to him like 5 times in the amateurs. Like he cannot touch this dude. And I think
Okay,
Keyshawn is one of the sharpest young fighters out there.
okay, this a different wiggle. Hold on, bro.
Yeah. Um, Burt Woods said G5. What is the difference in a left hook versus a check hook? So so a left hook is they're both the same thing. It's when the difference between a left hook and a check left hook is the check left hook is when you throw it. You're throwing that check left hook. They call it a check left hook when you're throwing it. You're throwing that hook as a counter. When you're throwing that hook as a counter, or you setting a trap for a guy, and that first shot is the hook. They call that the check hook. So if a guy is punching and he might be reaching, you might take a half step back, and your first shot is a hook. So they call that a check hook. The prime. I would say the most vivid example of a check hook was the shot that Floyd Mayweather hit Ricky Hatton with when he made him hit his head on the buckle in the corner and he fell. That's what you call a check hook. Like that is an old school. That's I ain't gonna lie. That's a cross between Philly and Crunk. Like that's a Philly gyms and Crunk gyms. They were known for that. That check hook, that check left hook, that check right hook. That's the difference between a left hook. The only difference between a left hook and a check left hook is when you actually throw the hook. If you're throwing it in response to a shot, or if you done set a trap and your first shot is a hook, they usually call it a check. They'll call it a check left hook. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
I
difference.
I equated a little more with the movement that goes with the hook. So like for
Agreed.
me,
Agreed.
it's if you trying to slide out the side door off a spin
I
or even a
I left
stunt
that out.
back step over, I'm
I
a
left that
throw
out. You're
and
100
I'm
percent right.
getting out the way sort of thing. So
I yeah,
I
I
had a little bit of the bottom half movement with mine.
100% right. 100% right. I left that out. My apologies, but my man Vlog came and cleaned that up. Not only is it the hook, but usually it comes with a sidestep. It usually comes with a sidestep or a pivot along with the hook. It's usually some type of movement involved with it. Andy Cruz, yes. Andy Cruz is the guy that Keyshawn cannot beat. Like he cannot be. I don't know what Andy Cruz is going to do in the pros. Huh?
Yeah, before I had to go, I was gonna say, bro, That's amateur. This dude got
bro.
That bro.
I feel you. Listen, if I was in Keyshawn's camp, like if I was controlling his career, and Keyshawn came to me and was like, "Yo, I want him in the pros," there's no way in hell I'm putting him in there. There's no
Me
way in hell I'm putting him. It's too risky. Too risky.
Me personally,
He done lost to him like 4 or 5 times. It's not like they went 2-1 or something like that, or kind of like a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia situation. No, he has lost to this dude like 4 or 5 times, and he's been the underdog all 4 or 5
bro.
times.
But you know how the international judging and that amateur shit is too, bro. They have their quote unquote house fighters. They're either Asian guys that they're kind of backing and supporting, or most of the time it's the guy from Cuba that kind of have the judge lean because historically they kind of been those guys.
Well, the thing about it though, he beat him in the Olympics, and Keyshawn was a pro. Andy Cruz is still an amateur. He still beat him.
Again, we talking 3-4 rounds, bro.
I understand. I'm just saying, but it goes to show. No, but that's what I'm saying.
All I need to know. That's all I need.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like some of these Cuban fighters on that amateur circuit are that good, which led back to my original question: like how many of these Cuban fighters are actually exciting in the pros? I would say probably one of the most exciting ones is probably David Morrell.
Yeah, and that's because they matching him up well too. That's to be honest, his matchups is pretty good because I don't know if they want to throw him out there in them waters like that either. You know what I mean? He good, but you know, like Edgar Berlanga, you put him against the wrong guy. That's just a bad management move, and you know, to the fans' estimation or to the pundits like ourselves, we could be like, "Yo, they shouldn't have did it." So I agree with you with him not fighting Cruz in the pros.
Yeah, it's just too risky. Like I ain't no.
Yeah, but from a fan, I'm thinking of reasons why I think he has not an advantage, but the ability to make it a better fight.
To me, that would the only reason I would tell Keyshawn like, yo, if you want to get revenge on that dude, go run up on him in the street. We're not gonna fuck this bag up. Like, we not gonna fuck this bag up. You know what I'm saying? That it almost I don't want it to be a Shane Mosley, Vernon Forrest type situation. Like I feel like everybody has their kryptonite. Everybody has their kryptonite, but it just goes back to show like them Cuban fighters, amateurs. I mean, they the best to do it because they are the kings at winning 4 rounds, like 3-4 rounds. Like they train for that specifically. You know, so they come into every single Olympics, national championships, and they got guys in the top 2, top 3 every single year. But that's big though. That
bro. We gonna get ready.
We gonna wrap this up. We gonna wrap this thing up, man. We almost 2 hours strong, man. Hour 48 minutes, man. That's pretty good. So hey, vlog, give me your social media so we can get up out of here, good brother.
As I told you earlier, boxing the #1 STVLOG on Instagram. Boxing First Vlog, the way you see it on your screen on Twitter. Tap in, staying as active as possible, trying my best, keep the energy up. Matter of fact, about to go grab me a banana. Got to go do these blood tests in the morning. So be drinking water tonight at work. So, you know what I mean? Y'all just keep y'all fingers crossed. You know what I mean? Always say a good word for the to the Most High for the OG. You know what I'm saying? Just talking boxing and trying to keep everything respectful and everything on a copacetic, so to speak. You know, I don't want no haters in my comment section.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts and prayers, and you know, we sure everything gonna work out the way it's supposed to work out. You know what I'm saying? So a prayer out for my boy, you know what I mean, gonna be handling business tomorrow. Big shout out to VP Shane. He in parts unknown. I don't know where he at. I can't even get in contact with him on the phone.
Yeah, he's taking his pilot's license.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. G5 Jeff TV. Website G5JeffTV.com. Actually, the website's gonna get revamped. There's a few changes I want to make. A few things I want to update. We got season 3 of the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League. Huge sponsor for season 3. So we're gonna break down the when that's gonna start, the actual rules, things like that. We'll probably have some post Saturday fight articles coming out after this weekend. Get that up and going, and we just gonna try to stay as busy as possible. Try to stay as consistent as possible. Also, look out for. I'm supposed to be jumping on with supposed to be a special live with DT3 the Boom Man too. He just hit me up yesterday, so we had to figure out a date and a time for that. So we'll probably announce that, but we'll be back tomorrow with episode 77 of the
Hey,
Goodfellas
this this
podcast.
this I'm like I said, I'm trying to get the channel back active. This is what I'm gonna do since we be doing our podcast and we do a lot of the mainstream fights. What you could probably look for on the channel from me is more analyzation of the undercard guys that probably don't get talked about as much, like on the everyday aspect, and they always on Twitter talking about these guys. So I think that's something I might try to concentrate more on the channel as I start coming back and doing more regular work as things,
Yeah,
on the up and up with me. So
and start checking for collab regular videos too. We're gonna do start doing regular videos, vlogging myself. It's gonna be this exact same format, but it's gonna be an actual regular video. We're gonna tackle one topic and break things down. So you'll see several videos with that. And the good thing about that is we can run them on both channels. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not catching it on mine, you're catching it on his, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot cooking. It just takes time to put these things together, man. But once it come into play, man, it's gonna be epic. So on behalf of VP Shane, aka Ice Cold Shane, and Parts Unknown, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. And your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru, on behalf of the staff. We will be back tomorrow with episode 77. We're gonna cap off another day covering these fights this Saturday. And the people that haven't seen Emmanuel Tego, you're gonna see some Emmanuel Tego footage tomorrow. So on behalf of the staff, we're gonna see y'all tomorrow. Peace.